welcome to Smashterpieces, a casual walk through the history of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. My name is Joe.
And my name is Melanie.
And if you're new here, what we are doing on this show is we are playing one game for every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 1984's Duck Hunt to 2019's Fire Emblem Three Houses. And today's game is representing fighter number 44, Wolf. It is the 2005 GameCube game Star Fox Assault.
It's the okayest Star Fox game.
It's half of the okayest Star Fox game.
Okay, I know you had a lot more issues with it than I did, for sure. I just kind of think this game's, like, dull in the best of times, honestly.
I think the beginning, like, levels are fine. Well, first of all, it's this game's whole thing, its whole, like, gimmick to separate it from the other Star Fox games, by which I mean to separate it from Star Fox 64 and SNES, is it has on-foot segments. I guess I should also say Star Fox Adventures, but that one does plenty to separate it.
I don't know that on-foot separates it from Star Fox Adventures very much, if I'm being honest. But...
Yeah, but I've seen enough Star Fox Adventures to know that they don't give you a rocket launcher in that game, so they don't even give you a gun.
I mean, you can shoot fire. It's kind of like a gun.
Nah.
It's a little bit like a gun.
Nah.
Like just the smallest bit like a gun.
First of all, so these on-foot segments are like the big thing. It also has multiplayer. We didn't play the multiplayer, mostly because...
We were talking about doing that, but we never managed to get around to it.
For me, it's less... I never managed to get around to it, and more... I don't really care.
So, the thing about the multiplayer in this is that a lot of people say that it's like the appeal of the video game, and it's the thing that really sets it apart, and those people only had a GameCube at this time of their life. I really don't think that there's anything that remarkable about the multiplayer other than that it exists on GameCube. This game came out, like, very close to Halo 2, so...
And it gets compared to Halo 2 a lot when I see people talk about it. It gets compared to Halo in general when I see people talking about it.
Yeah, not a comparison I would make favorably, to be honest, but...
But the reason I bring up the on-foot segments is that they control like ass.
Oh, yeah, so I don't know about you. My instinct when I started playing was dual analog, because, you know, we are in a dual analog future. And it turns out that the GameCube controller is not very good at dual analog.
Yeah, I thought about it for like 10 seconds. I had selected regular before you even said anything to me. But, like, the C-stick was not made to be a second analog stick.
No,
it was
it's actually
made
very
for
bad at
smaller
that.
things. And also, I didn't like that... I mean, I understand why, but I didn't like that A was not the shoot button for some reason. Despite the fact that every FPS I've ever played on a console in the past over a decade has used the triggers as shoot buttons.
It's not for some reason. It's because when you're using dual analog, your thumb is on the right stick.
Yeah, so you can't hit A. And I didn't like that A wasn't the shoot button, so I went with the first one. Let me find that screenshot I sent you of the fucking... I remember, for some reason, looking at the third option. There we go. The R button to run forward.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's about.
That sounds so bad.
That one is like... So, that one is what I'm sure someone in Nintendo's... Oh no, this would have been Bandai Namco. Someone, or no, were they just Namco at the time? Who cares? Someone on the dev team definitely at some point called that tank controls without knowing what tank controls are.
Yeah,
like, it's just,
controls.
Those are vehicle controls.
Yeah. You'd be controlling Fox like a fucking car.
Yeah, the trigger is move forward like most vehicle controls. You just move the camera with the left stick. and then you can shoot with the A button. That's vehicle controls, but for on foot, I guess. For some reason, I don't know why you would,
It's
but you
also
can.
also the fact that you're always moving, like holding down the right trigger on a GameCube controller just for the act of moving. My finger feels like it would fall the fuck off.
It's not great, really. It's actually kind of bad.
Like, it's fine when you have this is to say that the first one that is just the camera and the... Look, kids, this was before dual analog was the standard. The only ones... Well, okay, this is after dual analog was the standard, but not for Nintendo, because they have to be 7 years behind everybody else. And this is tradition and will always be the case. So, yeah, the GameCube controller wasn't made for dual analog, and it's a miracle that one of the biggest things that I see praised about the Metroid Prime series, the 2 games on GameCube, is that they found a way to make a first-person shooter work on a controller that was not made to play a first-person shooter on. And that's like a noteworthy thing I've seen many people bring up in the past. A third-person shooter, somehow worse.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's by no means the only third-person shooter on the platform. Others figured out what to do. Never especially well, though. I'm really only thinking of James Bond video games. They were never that good, so...
Weren't those first person?
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
I've only seen the first person ones. I'll be real, the only 2 James Bond games...
At some point, we're going to do James Bondsterpieces, and you're going to see just how deep this shit goes.
The only 2 James Bond games I've ever seen are GoldenEye and Nightfire. And that's it.
The one in particular that I'm thinking about is Everything or Nothing. That was the one that was the big, it's no longer first person game. And, it really wasn't that great, but it, you know what? I don't know what point I was trying to make. It's not good. It's just not good.
And I think the parts in the R-Wing control fine.
They control fine, but
like
they're not
they control
good.
Like it's Star Fox game.
The thing is, like, they feel so slow. And I think that's just because the game runs at a higher frame rate than 64 did, and that means that it feels slower because you're seeing more smoother movement. That's something that low frame rates are actually kind of good about. They're good about disguising speed in a way. And if you look up behind the scenes of movies, you can see this a lot, where things look faster when they're being shown at a lower frame rate generally. And maybe that's just what's going on here, but I'm looking at the opening mission of the game right now, and it just looks so much slower and more boring.
And that might actually explain why it feels like every level in this game is 300 years long.
So, yeah, but also precious few of them are just the straight-up R-Wing missions.
Oh, yeah, there's 3 of them total. Maybe.
Let me scroll through and find out.
I can actually only think of 2.
Orbital Gate Assaults, kind of, but that's an all-range mode mission.
Yeah. I'd still count
and funny enough, the R-Wing speed isn't nearly as bad in all range mode. It still doesn't feel as good as 64, but it's a lot better than the linear missions.
See,
there are only 3 linear R-Wing missions in the game, and one of them is the final mission.
See, the Orbital Gate is the only... All right, here's how my trajectory worked. I thought every level was fine. Not great. I can't remember half of them, to be perfectly fair. But I don't know, fine, I guess. And then I hit Saria. And Saria sucks. Straight up, that level is awful.
Saria is the exact moment that the game goes from mediocre to probably bad.
And every level after that is terrible, except I kind of liked the orbital gate.
I don't hate Corneria. I think Corneria's fine. Although the extended rail cannon segment is too long. I
Yeah,
would say.
it is so long. It goes for so fucking
Really long.
long.
That scene, by the way, is why I chose this game for Wolf. That
Mhm.
in that one sequence.
I think that's a sound reason to have picked this for Wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf
I
does
think
seem
that
like he gets to play a part in this story more than other Star Fox games I've seen.
yeah, I don't know why really they decided to do that, but who knows?
I'm fine with it. Wolf's
Um,
cool.
I have a big issue with the way that Wolf and Leon are in this game, where I think like they have completely different characterizations compared to Star Fox 64, and I like them a lot better in Star Fox 64.
I don't like Leon in general. I think he's annoying in
Um,
this game.
I'm saying I think he's great in 64. I like him there, and they took all of that characterization away from Wolf and Leon and stuffed it into Panther. And a lot of people really love Panther, but I don't, specifically for that reason, because he took all of the good personality away from the rest of Star Wolf.
I don't like Panther because 90% of his dialogue is hitting on Crystal for some reason.
And then for some reason, the game opens on this segment where Andrew is trying to take over the galaxy.
I think it explains that Andrew like tried to take over the like Andross's fleet, which I guess makes sense.
They explain it, but emotionally, it doesn't really make sense to me, I would say.
I think because the whole idea is that he just sort of took over what was left of that fleet, and he sucks at it.
Yeah,
Hence
he
why
does,
you
for
beat him
sure.
in one mission. Hence why you don't even need to beat him in one mission. The Aperoids just fucking show up and kill him. Speaking of the Aperoids, they sure exist.
They sure do. I agree.
They're definitely enemies that were programmed into the game.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about them at all. For better or worse. They're just kind of they're space bugs. Not even as interesting as the space bugs in like Helldivers, which is
Well, like, and also it's weirdly inconsistent. Their power set feels inconsistent. Like they keep making up new powers that the Aperoids have. Like first it's just they're bugs, and then they have these hatchers, and that makes sense. And it's like also they can possess machines. Also they
yeah.
can possess people.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's not a very cohesive power set.
like fucking. I don't know. They're really, really coming off of a second set of space bugs that we were fighting before this. The Ing are far more interesting than the Aperoids.
You know what? The Aperoids are just shittier Flood.
Yeah.
Like there's even like the bit where like your commanding officer gets possessed and you need to fight. I mean, it's more of a fight in this than it was in Halo, but like they're just the shitty Flood.
Which takes it right back to a comparison to Halo.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Not a favorable one.
But yeah, Soria, I think you are right. That is the exact point when the game just takes a fucking nosedive. And
well, so that's also one of the missions in the game that is just find the things and destroy them. And there's way too many of them, and they spawn enemies. That like there's like 5 missions in this game about destroying the enemy spawners, and there's only 10 missions.
the thing with the last one, the Aperoid home planet, the outside, is
Oh
that
my
I'm
God.
pretty sure, I can't prove this, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm sure I could go, somebody would have pointed it out if it was true, but it certainly felt like those spawners were still spawning enemies even when I was not near them. Because I would walk into
I don't
those
know.
rooms and they would be full of like 30 fucking enemies.
I don't know. That level might just suck overall.
It's another level that's way too fucking long.
And the pop-in is like, it actually gets in the way of gameplay there, because you can't kill enemies that haven't spawned in yet, like that haven't popped in visibly. So they're just a lot more difficult to deal with.
And then the last level, So here's the thing about, I almost didn't fucking finish this game. This was almost the second game.
I didn't know that you went back and finished it.
Oh yeah, at some point, finally. Because when I went to look up a long play, because I was basically at the point where I was like, fuck this, I'm going to watch the ending on YouTube. I don't give a shit anymore. Only to find out that where I kept dying was the room before the boss.
Sick.
That level is way too fucking long. It moves way too fucking slow. There are no health pickups. I think there might be one, and it's if you save Crystal, she gives you one, but everybody else you save, as far as I can tell, gives you a bomb, which, great, guys. Thanks for the bomb. I'm dying. Thanks for the bomb. And it just... it's the only level that made me game over, and it did it twice. Which, that's another thing about... That's another bone I have to pick with this game, actually. And I understand that we were still in this weird transitionary period where we still did lives in video games regardless of whether they fit or not. This game should not have lives.
No, probably not.
This game should not have lives. The reason Star Fox 64 has lives, and it's fine, is because Star Fox 64 is a run-based score attack game. And
so
this
I
isn't
think
that.
I think this game thinks that it's that. Because, like, you get a score at the end with, like, high scores and max combos and stuff, but, like, they're not fun enough for that.
Well, the thing is, it's specifically that in Star Fox 64 because when you lose, you have to start the run over.
Yeah.
But in this one, you can just you just have to start the level that you were on over. That's it. Like, It's a level-based, story-based game. It should not have lives. Also, it should have a setting or some sort of, like, Boolean somewhere in its code that says, hey, the player has already heard this exchange between these two characters, and we don't need to keep playing it over and over again. I heard Wolf say, I don't need your advice, pup, like 7 fucking times. Because that's where the checkpoint is in that level. And it's the same lines every single fucking time. And it got so fucking infuriating. The final boss, I think, is fine. At least it's
not terrible, but that's not a very high bar, is it?
It's not terrible, but it's not really one I would like praise from the heavens or anything like that. Anyways, yeah, the reason I hate Soria, by the way, there's a specific reason that I can point to. It's not just because it's go find the thing and destroy it, though that leans into it. It's because the radar in this game is fucking worthless. It's awful. And Soria is where it's at its worst. Because, like, Soria as a level has a bunch of, like, hidden entrances and caves that are, like, in the side of hills. And those are the only ways that you can get into those areas. And, like, literally all the radar tells you is, are you at the same elevation as this thing? And that's it.
Yeah. And like it's trying to like show you all this iconography that you recognize from Star Fox Adventures. And you know what? I did recognize that magic power-up room from Star Fox Adventures, but it just leads to the level being fucking impossible to really wrap your head around it.
I got lost so often. It's almost the other level that game overed me, because I think I was down to 1 life when I finished Soria. Because I just kept fucking running out of time. I couldn't find anything. And so, like, that's about the exact point.
Soria
where,
took me over 13 minutes, according to my end screen for it.
God, what a bad level. What a fucking bad level.
Corneria took me 20 minutes, though. So, that's cool.
Corneria, I also kind of don't like, but I like it better than I like Soria.
Corneria gave me 2 moments of joy when I saw these signs. One for the Soria development plan, and the other, like, an emergency broadcast for the water quality in Zonus. The Zonus water quality, that one was good. I liked that one a lot. But also, like, the fucking unhinged idea that, like, there's currently a Cornerian development plan for Soria. Like, we're just gonna colonize Soria? What?
No, we're going to give them civilized buildings.
Also, Dinosaur Planet is called Soria?
Isn't
What
that
the
said
fuck's
in
that
Star
about?
Fox? Isn't that
No.
said?
In Star Fox Adventures, they only ever call it Dinosaur Planet.
Huh.
And in fact, even in the dinosaur language, they call it the English word Dinosaur Planet.
See, I love that about Star Fox. That's like the one thing that I know that I love about Star Fox Adventures is that sometimes they went through all this trouble to invent this fucking fictional language.
Well,
and
first
then,
of all, no, they didn't.
Well-
It's just a substitution. It's just a substitution cipher.
even so, like, that's still some effort to go through and then have voice actors read off. But then they just randomly, like, General Scales is in English.
The reason for that is that proper nouns are left in English, which on the one hand, that is how language works. Proper nouns, you do tend to leave them as they are without an attempt to translate them. But Star Fox Adventures does not seem to understand what a proper noun is.
Well, also, like, languages have their own words for general.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't seem to understand what a proper noun is.
Like, it's really funny to me.
Like, well, like for example, like in real life, we have Tokyo. Tokyo is just the Japanese words for Eastern capital. And sure, we have both of those words, but it's a proper noun. Meanwhile, General Scales is 2 English words. How are those the proper nouns in the dinosaur language? What the fuck is going on here?
Well, Scales would be because it's his name, but General wouldn't be. Like, it's weird. It's super weird.
So there's also though a moment where Crystal calls him a general, and the word general is still in English. So they at least thought about it that much, but not enough.
Jesus Christ. As my other comment on Soria, Tricky being like, yeah, we got to keep this planet safe so you two can come here and fuck on it later. That's a little weird, Tricky. That's a little weird, Tricky. Okay, so speaking of Crystal, by the way,
Yeah.
I had this moment of, like, sending me... So, I'm a big fan of the Sly Cooper series. And the voice actress for Crystal voices 2 characters in Sly 2, specifically. You've played enough of Sly 1 to have met Carmelita. It is series tradition, somehow, that she has a completely different voice and voice actress every single game. She has a different accent in every single game. And in Sly 2, she just has a fucking American accent. And that one doesn't sound anything similar to Crystal. But then when I heard Crystal talking, I was like, that sounds so fucking familiar. Why? She also voices a character in Sly 2 named Neela, who is using that exact same voice.
Love it.
100% the same fucking voice.
That's funny because like her Crystal voice is her imitating the voice from Adventures because she didn't voice Crystal in Adventures.
I like maybe that's just what her real voice sounds like. I don't know. She does fine with both voices in Sly 2, I think. They're cheesy in that PS2
she's American,
way,
so that's not just her natural voice.
Sweet. Awesome. Same exact. She can only do one English accent then, I guess. She also voices Samus in the Smash series. So that's neat.
Well, she was already in the room to do Crystal, so.
Yeah. There you go. Well, no,
that's how
she
most
voiced her
of the voice...
Brawl, too, didn't she? Or am I remembering?
Crystal has voice lines in Brawl.
Oh, right, she does.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the... I forget what the stage is called. The Star Fox stage. That one. The spaceship.
Yeah. Does it have
Lilac
an interesting
Cruise.
name?
Lilac Cruise. That's
so
what it's
no,
called.
it doesn't have an interesting name. Yeah, a lot of characters ended up with like longtime voices just because of whoever happens to be around for Smash Brothers. Like, did you know that Lynn from Fire Emblem, her voice in Japanese, like the voice she has always and will always have in Japanese, because they take their voice acting very seriously, is Kirby's voice actor. Because Kirby's voice actor was already in the room to do voices for Brawl, so they got her to do like 3 lines for Lynn. And now she's just Lynn's voice.
She's Ness too, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's really fucking funny. That didn't work for Pit, though. I'm okay with that. I love you, Landon Manila, but your Pit voice was really bad. I'm sorry.
So, it did work for Pit in Japanese.
Okay.
Pit's voice actress in Pit's Japanese voice in Brawl, still Pit's Japanese voice to this day. Who is also the voice of Detective Conan.
Pit's current English voice is a lot more fitting of Pit. I don't know what it is about Lanny Manila, but I think she thinks children sound like adults when they speak.
She does a fine voice whenever she's not voicing a child, and that sure makes it a shame that she voices a lot of children.
She sure does. But hey, her Nancy Drew voice is a gift, and it's a crime they replaced her. What were we talking about?
She was,
she
was also Amo Chow.
Good. Perfect. So what were we talking about? Right, Star Fox.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
fine.
It's fine. It's half fine, half
It's the
not
okayest
great.
video game.
I'm going to stick with what I said at the beginning of the episode. It's half of the okayest video game. But you know what is fucking good in Star Fox Assault? I can't get through this. We didn't talk about the music in Prime 2 very much, just because there's not a lot to talk about there. It's very ambient and it's fine. But this game has some really good music, and I think I mentioned during the
agree.
pre-show,
Star Fox 64's music is very good.
There's a couple of these songs that aren't from Star Fox. In fact, my favorite song on the soundtrack is not from Star Fox 64. It's original.
Which one's that?
That would be, I believe it's called Space Battleground is the official name that it was given in Brawl.
I'm pretty sure this one's from Star Fox 64.
I believe this one is original. There are a few original songs on this. Most of it, I will give you this, most of it is just fucking rearrangements of Star Fox 64 music, as I believe most Star Fox soundtracks are, from what I understand. but I believe this one is original. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, this is like the only original song in the game.
It's my favorite song on the soundtrack, and it's extremely good, I think. I believe it plays during the first, like the opening mission. So,
I think so, yeah.
That's that. So here's the thing. If we're going to talk about this game for Wolf, we should probably talk about the Star Wolf theme.
I don't hate it.
I think it's fine.
I like the 64 version better, but this one's going for... So, I don't think the vibe it's going for makes sense for its role in the video game, but as a song, it's good. It's a good song. Not a great boss fight music, but whatever, I guess.
I like the Star Fox 64 version better. I like the Brawl remix of the Star Fox 64 version best. But, like, it's a fine song on its own, this arrangement of it. I don't know why they went... It always sounded to me like they were going for, like, a Western tone.
I don't know if I'd say that.
I don't know why. I think it's the trumpet. I think it's the muted trumpet. Or I don't know if it's a muted trumpet.
I kind of feel like it has more of a Spanish flair.
Well, maybe. To be fair, those two can overlap in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the music we associate with the Western.
Muted trumpets are prominent in both of those styles, so
yeah, it's a fine song. And the rearrangement of the original Star Fox theme in the intro is pretty good too.
It's fine. I'm scrolling through the soundtrack trying to find any song that I like that isn't just a song from Star Fox 64.
The final boss music is good. I like that one as well. But I'm looking at
this is okay.
I have a YouTube playlist of like music from games that I have played throughout the year, and there are 4 songs on there from Star Fox Assault, and I've now listed all 4 of them.
This is not a song that I find especially good, but the Aperoid City theme sounds like it's something out of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire for the N64.
Have
you ever played that game?
I haven't, The only thing I know about that game is there's a boss fight with that droid bounty hunter that is that people don't like because the fog.
IG-88?
Yeah, because the render distance. He's able to shoot you from outside the render distance or something. I don't fully remember. And I don't know. This soundtrack is notable for being the first Nintendo game to have an orchestrated soundtrack. But I think that personally, there's a reason why when people think about first Nintendo game with an orchestrated soundtrack, Assault's not what comes to mind with a fully orchestrated soundtrack, mostly.
It almost doesn't have its own soundtrack.
Assault is not what comes to mind. Galaxy is what comes to mind from years after that. And I think that's telling, honestly. I don't hate the soundtrack of this game. I just don't remember it that much. Mm-hmm. There are bits and pieces there that I really like, but for the most part, like, it is not done any favors, like you've said, of being just a bunch of rearrangements from another game.
Yeah, and I'm going out of my way to, like, not pick songs that are just from Star Fox 64, and the result is that, like, there's nothing here that I care about.
But I don't have anything else to say about Star Fox Assault. It's fine, I guess. Mm-hmm. That's as far as I can get.
It's so okay.
It's the okayest it could get.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it, I think. I'm sorry that all of you only had a GameCube growing up.
See, I didn't. And that's why I like good games like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, instead of this, I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I was playing that too, but turning on all the cheats so that I was invincible in, like, the campaign mode.
Oh, I played Battlefront 2 online.
I didn't play Battlefront 2 online. I forget that the PS2 had online most of the time because I never used it.
This was the same year as Battlefront 2.
That's unfortunate. Because that's even more closely comparable to this game.
Yeah. So I didn't have a PS2 until, like, a year after this game came out. So, like, in fairness, there was a bit of time where this game existed and I only had a GameCube. But, like, Battlefront 2 very quickly became my childhood shooter. So
I guess we should move on.
I guess so.
You tried, Fox. It's okay, buddy. You'll get paid next time. We'll see you
Well, don't
again
worry.
for your next game that'll definitely be super enjoyable. Oh, my notes say it's Star Fox Zero.
You know what? We should bonus episode Command at some point, if no other reason, so that you can see how fucking unhinged that story gets. That story fucking goes places.
Maybe at some point. Yeah, that sounds fun. Sure.
It's wild, honestly.
That's the DS one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? It's also remarkably okay.
Has there been a good Star Fox since 64?
Has there been a good Star Fox besides 64? You know what? There has, actually. 64 3D.
If you ask John Reardon, they're all good, I assume. But
he is so he will in fact say that, but he will also concede that Assault is one of the weaker ones.
We did the bit last episode about how you can, like, just go tweet at Neil and John, which was very strong in my opinion. Now this time my call to action is to go tweet at John and ask what's wrong with him.
Oh, we've tried to find that answer before.
I want no clarification. If he asks, what do you mean? You are not to answer him. And we just wait for the answer to come in.
I think that people that live in Donkey Kong 64 shaped houses shouldn't throw stones.
I was a child. And also, I'm good at Donkey Kong 64. You're all just jealous that you're not as good at it as me. And it's also not on an SO yet. And I get sad.
So you haven't learned the truth yet.
What do you mean I don't know the truth yet?
You haven't been forced to, like, reconfront that fact yet.
I played it on fucking Wii U twice. I'd be able to play with an N64 controller on the Switch for the first time in, like, over a decade. I welcome that. I want that. Give it to me. It's too bad that game, 100% of that game is now impossible because it was all balanced around the N64's lag.
They'll reintroduce that on the Switch, I'm sure.
Anyways, let's move on to the next game. And that game is representing fighter number 32, Ike. It is the 2005 GameCube title, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Technically, the last GameCube exclusive we will be playing, though Twilight Princess is the last GameCube game we will be playing. Let's be real. But technically, this is our final game of exclusively the GameCube era. And we're not alone for this one. It's the person we've talked about who's going to yell at me about Metroid probably at some point during this pre-show, is our friend Matt.
Hello. You guys...
get it out of your system. Let's go.
Well, I was going to say, you guys and the listeners here may recognize me as that unnamed friend that Melanie keeps referencing on all the NWR podcasts. Sometimes by name, sometimes she's too much of a coward to do that, so...
It depends on whether I'm trying to put you on blast or not. Usually if I'm saying something nice, I'll bring you up by name, but if I want plausible deniability, then I don't.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the opposite for a second, that like you only say my name when...
Oh, no, I need to keep my image, and if I'm going around making people look bad, then my image doesn't do too well, so...
See,
if it makes you feel any better, I would put you on blast at any opportunity by name.
See, the problem is I've never said anything wrong, so... I say only correct things.
We'll see how long that lasts on this show.
This is about to be proven in court.
A famously controversial game, Path of Radiance.
Yeah.
Everyone has very mixed opinions about this one.
You know what? Just for that, I've already decided I don't like this game.
Okay, no, but like I'm sure there's gonna be some way, like 4 months from now, you're gonna bring up like one specific thing that you feel about this game where I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And it'll be like mom and dad fighting while I sit in the back of the bus.
Like, what do you mean Serenus Forest isn't long enough?
Well, you know, we'll get there.
I don't have the context to add to the joke.
Look, we all know...
I'm the only one here that has not played the game, just so people are aware. I have never played this game.
Yeah, we all know Serenus Forest is long enough. They made a whole website about it.
See, that I get. I know the website.
Hey, I'm quoted on that website.
Is it about the Norse thing? Or is it something else?
No, for my Engage stuff. I've actually spoken to the webmaster.
Huh.
Every now and then he likes my tweets.
That's exciting.
The only people that like my tweets are bots. And sometimes Fang.
Sometimes.
If that's the case, you should have got them on the podcast instead of me. I'm a nobody.
I don't think I know them that well.
The bots or
them too.
the bots.
I don't know if look, we're supposed to be against AI right now.
There, Joe. I like
this has gone off the rails. We've been going for half an hour. Now, which one? Let's find out in real time.
Your most recent one. I didn't even look what it was. I just liked the most recent one.
I'm glad that you agree that the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is pretty good.
Yeah, that does sound like something I would say.
Yeah. This has gone off the rails. We've only been going for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is a Fire Emblem game. It's our second Fire Emblem game. Now, some of you, I understand, are probably having some type of lore flashback to the last time we played a Fire Emblem game, and it took us half a year. That might still happen. I don't know.
Well,
No,
Who
it's
knows?
happening again.
okay,
No,
so
no.
here's the worst thing about why it took Blazing Blade so long. So like every other game that's taken us way too long has been because like we were slow to do it. We would take like hiatuses in the middle of it. Like Thousand Year Door, obviously, we took a pretty substantial hiatus right in the middle of. And that's like the terrifying thing about Blazing Blade, where we didn't. We were pretty consistent on keeping a pace with that one. That game's just that long. So, we should do our best not to have any delays for this one.
Part of my part for doing that is I apologize, everybody. I will not be streaming this game.
I'm not convinced you're ever gonna stream again.
I am also not 100%.
Even though
convinced of that.
last night you just like sat in Discord streaming Dead Rising, just not to the Twitch.
The thing about that is I don't have to be on
You
for
don't.
the entire time that I'm sitting in a call with friends.
Here's what I have to say. You don't have to on the Twitch either.
I feel like I have to, or I'm not doing a
Just stream
entertaining stream.
Just stream Path of Radiance to a private call to me personally and no one else.
Yeah. So okay. So
Don't tempt me,
that's
Foster.
the thing, Joe. I don't need you to like put on a performance stream for the Twitch channel. I just need to have a record of you playing this. That's what I want.
I mean, I can give an exhaustive.
If you, all I want, like no webcam, just put in no layout, just put in OBS, turn on your microphone, don't even look at a chat, just hit go, ignore everyone else, maybe sit in a Discord call with me and just play the game. That's all I want. I don't want you to perform.
So-
I just want your playthrough documented. That's all I want.
So I should clarify for people, just to explain this real quick. The reason Star Fox took so long is because it took me a very long time to play it, because I kept waiting for myself to be in a condition where I felt like I could stream, and it became increasingly apparent that that day was not coming. And I don't know when, like, I'm still suffering from like burnout and shit. And I don't know when it's gonna get better. I hope soon, but who knows? So that is the unfortunate part of that. But we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm erring on the side of I'm probably not streaming this game.
So sad.
I probably am. I'm thinking I might try an Iron Man run. Just because this is like the only game where I feel confident that I could actually like succeed at one of those.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that I'm probably going to do an Iron Man run for this game as well. I've never actually done one before, so it'll be interesting, but it is one of the easier games in the series, so...
Also,
You're setting a precedent that somebody has to do an Iron Man run for every Fire Emblem now.
The
Because
guest
Alex
always
did one
does.
For the last one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also am sorry to say, I know some people will be very upset to hear this. I will probably have a Wii U ranking going during them because I'm not as good a streamer as Joe was. I need people with me, and those are the people that chose to be with me through Paper Mario. So,
Tell me about Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
oh, it's the best one.
How radiant is it?
Radiant Dawn's a little more radiant.
Will I need sunglasses?
This one's just the Path of Radiance. The next one, like the one after this, was Radiant Dawn, which is like, you know, have you ever looked directly at a sunrise?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
I don't recommend that.
No.
Not a good idea.
Because you need sunglasses for it.
No, even with sunglasses, I don't recommend that.
Have you ever needed sunglasses looking at a path?
It depends on how well lit the path is. I've worked in Unity. I know what overlighting looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a GameCube game, so it's going to be very muddy.
Yeah, a little bit.
All I know about this game is that Ike's in it.
He sure is. And there are furries.
And I'm pretty sure I already know the spoiler about one of the villains. just because of Smash.
Because of Smash?
I'm pretty sure.
No, it checks out, but I'm not going to say anything in case it's something else.
We'll see if I'm right and I did know it because of Smash, or if I made that up in my brain.
Hey, sometimes that happens.
I think that will be a fun thing to discover as we go, honestly. Because it is very possible that I just made up a spoiler for this game I did not play.
You may recognize my favorite Fire Emblem character, Micaiah. She's not in this game. But she's in the next one. The one that's not on our list.
Surely you'll never
You guys
play.
You guys are making a really good argument for this game by mentioning things that aren't in it.
I mean, what, were we going to make you play the direct sequel?
No, this is a good game.
Yeah,
Don't
this
let her
one's really
fool
good.
you.
That's what I was told about the last two GameCube games.
I never said
And look how those turned
I never said
out.
Assault was that good.
Well, hold on a second.
And Prime 2 was that
it's
good.
great. Prime 2 is great.
Now the GameCube
That's
game
what I'm
before
told.
Prime 2,
That's
people
coming
say
out.
that one's good. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna get mad.
You're getting mad about Thousand Year Door?
Oh no, sorry. I thought for some reason we were talking about Prime 1. But,
Oh, no.
Prime 1 was a long fucking time ago. Prime 1 was a lifetime ago at this point. And even then, like, Wind Waker and F-Zero took place between that and Paper Mario.
F-Zero's a good game.
F-Zero's
F-Zero
really
is
good.
a very good game. Some might say it's the only good GameCube game. Just kidding. I like Metroid Prime. Just
like
fine.
Pikmin.
Wind Waker,
And
I
2.
like just
And
fine.
2. And Pikmin.
Man,
And Pikmin. Pikmin's also very good.
Luigi's
Yeah.
Mansion was alright.
Luigi's Mansion I really like.
That one's good.
Okay, so maybe there's more than one good
GameCube's
GameCube
got
game,
good
and maybe
games.
it's just Metroid Prime 2 that sucks. I don't know. I don't make the
No,
rules.
it's coming out. I'm gonna get mad. Like the Hulk bursting forth from Bruce Banner.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this game. This will be my This will be my fourth or fifth Fire Emblem.
So remind me
Blade
again.
Awakening, Fates, Three Houses Engage, Blazing Blade. This will be my sixth Fire Emblem.
Okay, because I was curious if Blazing Blade was your only classic Fire Emblem until now.
Blazing Blade is the first Fire Emblem game I have played since from before Awakening.
you're like, Awakening,
so
yeah.
This will be the second. Awakening is where I started.
And he hasn't even played
'Cause,
Shadows
like,
of
that was
Valentia
a big one.
either.
I haven't played Shadows of Valentia. No, I have it on my 3DS. It's like sitting right there. Like
It came out at a
3
weird
feet away
time,
from
so
me, but-
I understand that.
Yeah.
If you're not super into Fire Emblem, it was 2017 kind of.
It was
the
post-Switch.
Yeah, Switch kind of stole its thunder a little bit.
I've played all the okay, it being post Switch makes sense. That's why I didn't play Persona Q2
Yeah.
either. Because that was also post Switch. Weird era.
I think you're going to like this game. I don't know if it'll be your
I
favorite.
imagine I probably will.
But I think you'll like it.
So,
I jokes aside, I imagine I think I'll probably like this game.
yeah, I think so too. Of the classic Fire Emblem games, it's probably the easiest. That's probably going to help.
Yeah, do we want to talk about that thing now, or are we going to wait until the actual episode?
I don't. I would prefer Joe not know about it because then he'll do it.
Oh, now I'm
it
confused.
about-
Now I think we're talking about two different things.
Probably. What are you? What are you talking
I
about?
was just talking about the North American difficulties.
Oh, it doesn't matter what we say. He's going to choose easy.
Okay, so basically,
I believe Melanie has explained this to me before.
Okay.
It's that the easy difficulty can't transfer over to ready done, right?
that is one aspect of
save.
it. The reason why that is the case is because the easy difficulty in the North American version is a brand new difficulty. They changed the easy Japanese difficulty to normal in the North American, and the normal in Japan to hard in North America.
So they reverse Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah. They basically said, hey, these North Americans are really bad at strategy games. Let's make the game easier for them.
Hey, Japanese developers from this exact era of video games, make up your mind. Do we suck at video games or are we good at them?
So, theoretically,
I can give you a hint as the answer. It's the first one.
if you were to play this game on normal, that would be easy in every other Fire Emblem game.
I mean, since I have been told that the playing on easy makes the save, and I'll have save states, so I'll be fine.
This one's also, I think, even disregarding that, I think it's one of the easier Fire Emblems if, like, you even play the equivalent difficulty.
Also, Joe, don't worry about importing your save to Radiant Dawn because there's no way you're going to actually get the things done that would make that save worth importing anyway. So I'm just gonna send you a save file for that.
That works fine for me. I assume I'm gonna take a guess as to what Melanie's talking about, which is the solo Ike run.
Oh,
because I have heard of that. I do not plan to do that.
Okay.
now.
He's not the best character in the game, but he is one of them.
He's not the number one best character in the game, but he's the only one you have for the entire game.
Yeah,
So
that does factor into it.
I have heard that it's hard at first and then eventually just becomes like a fucking cakewalk, and I can solo basically the whole game.
So the way that it goes is that the at first phase lasts way less time than you think it does, but right in the middle of the game, there's one specific chapter that is way harder than anything you would do during a normal playthrough as a solo Ike run. Solo Ike becomes near impossible for one chapter. And then it goes back to being super easy immediately afterwards.
Anyways, we have now talked about the only two things about Path of Radiance that I know going in.
Mm-hmm. It has furries.
Being solo Ike runs and the easy difficulty thing. So I think that does it. I think we can wrap up pretty
Are
sure
we doing
right here.
check-ins for this one?
We're gonna have to.
Yes, I believe the plan.
Yeah.
The plan is to do check-ins for this one. From the current plan, it looks like is after Chapter 8, after Chapter 17, after Chapter 24, and then finish the game. Is what's written down on our spreadsheet at the very least. So 4 parts. It's looking like for this one.
Mm-hmm. And Chapter 17. Okay, so Chapter 17 is Serena's Forest. So we're gonna have a discussion right after that.
In this case, am I like the little Simpsons boy? The haha, I'm in danger? Is that the vibe?
I just saw that brought up in the Discord, by the way.
Yeah, it was brought up because I learned today it's not even from a fucking episode of The Simpsons.
From the Family Guy crossover.
It sure is.
That's depressing.
And our first check-in episode is going to be after the map that was brought back for Engage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll see if I recognize that. I probably.
That's a good one. I like that chapter a lot.
It's a really good chapter.
So yeah, that's it. Fire on Path of Radiance. We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. This is probably our last game of the year. I don't even know if we'll finish it within the year. We probably won't, but because we only have 3 months left in that year. But this is gonna be. We're finally gonna have a wrap-up episode where we don't talk about Path of Radiance as the coming up game.
Yeah.
I've been
Next
waiting
year.
for years.
It only took 3 years.
Hey, let's be optimistic. We could finish this one before the end of the year, right? We got it.
Good.
I mean-
yeah. Will?
Theoretically, it's possible, I suppose.
Drag you kicking and screaming.
Maybe someday we'll have another wrap-up episode where we get to talk about like more than 4 episodes. Joe, we got to do a bonus episode.
Matt will walk into my house and like put a gun to my head and be like, I already went to Melanie.
Yeah.
You're going to finish now too.
You're next. That's the order I have to go in to travel across.
I want you past chapter 24 by tomorrow. And I'll be like, I gotta go to work. And he'll be like, I don't. Your work is now this.
It's your
Ike's your work now.
It's your
I'm
homework.
starting
You're gonna fail school.
I'm starting to wonder if the bit of calling you Matt was worth it. like
It is my name. It's not a bit.
It is your name, but we've literally never called you that before, so it is a bit.
We've never called you that, and yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've slipped up and called you Fozzles at least once in this episode, probably twice.
Oh well, audience is gonna have to learn.
They're gonna have to learn.
Oh, they've
had
to learn that from the streams where I'm never certain what to call you.
Yeah, there's Razzle Dazzle too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's wrap up because it's time to wrap up. You can find the show as Smashterpieces both on YouTube and on Twitter. We don't tweet a lot because Twitter is a dying empire covered in sand. But sometimes we do, and when we do, you can like our tweets.
We almost exclusively tweet to say, sorry, the episode's not out yet. We'll record very soon. Then later,
Or
sorry, we still haven't
the
recorded.
episode's out.
And then, episode's out.
And those are exclusively what we tweet. Sometimes I will say something that doesn't make any sense and makes people question whether I should be allowed to have a Twitter account. But that is neither here nor there. And, yeah. You can find the audio version of this if you want to direct download it at anondino.squarespace.com. That's pretty cool. But you can also find it on YouTube, and you can find it on all the podcatchers, and it's not hard to find. I don't got nothing else.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm leaving that silence completely intact in the edit. And with that, my name is Joe.
My name is Melanie.
And I'm Matt. Do I jump in?
Good question mark. Yes.
Oh no.
And we'll be back next time for our first episode discussing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.